Why haven't you met your soulmate yet? I'm gonna tell you. I'm psychic. Your dream relationship is right around the corner. You're doing the work, you're self-aware, you're healing, you're going out with people. So why do you still feel like the guys you attract are stuck in a loop? Why can't you find your dream partner yet? Everybody wants deep love, the marriage, the wedding, the relationship, but sometimes we will get stuck in a loop where we're attracting the same emotionally unavailable, unserious, unintelligent guys. In this video, I'm going to talk about the emotional and spiritual reasons to why you might not have attracted your dream partner yet, and how we are going to remove blockages to get them to come into our life soon. If you don't know me, guys, my name is Neethi. I am your everything older sister, self-development, confidence, dating. I work in attachment and relationship research, so everything that I say is backed in experience and research. I'm actually a psychometrist who works in mental health in a hospital setting. Let's just say I know a lot about relationships. Everything I say is also from personal experience. Couple chapters in this video. Part 1 is going to be why you have not met your dream partner yet. 2 is going to be signs that you're not actually emotionally ready. 3 is going to be how you are going to actually attract the dream relationship. I know that that's why you're here. I am going to give you some things that you can do to manifest him yesterday. Part 1, why you have not met your dream partner yet and the real root of it. I actually think understanding this is the most important part of revamping your dating life. There are a couple reasons why your dream person and your man may have not come into your life yet. First one could be that you are actually still energetically entangled with your ex. Now the key word here is energetically. Just think about a past situationship, a past relationship, however long ago it was. Even if you are not still in contact with that person, don't physically run into them, are you energetically still attached to them? There's a big difference between the physical realm and energy and spirituality, and I truly believe that meeting your soulmate, meeting your dream partner is something that is an energetic and soul connection. And so even if they're not in your physical realm or you've stayed away, if you are energetically still connected to a person in your past, a person who's at a lower vibration or lower frequency than you, then you cannot meet your dream partner over here yet. Energetically still connected could be like, you know, still thinking of them quite often, replaying a lot of the scenarios that you're having with them. Maybe you are still checking up on them on social media low-key, still deep down believe that they're your soulmate. Maybe just you are not fully emotionally over what happened in that situation or that relationship. Maybe you haven't healed from it, maybe you haven't journaled about it, maybe you have suppressed it, you haven't fully felt the emotions yet. Maybe you still need to do some therapy on how you left that situation and how it made you feel. Maybe you still haven't processed it. There are many things that could have happened with an ex or with an ex situationship or anybody in your life, and although they might not be physically in your day-to-day anymore, you need to fully cut off an energy tie from thinking, feeling, contemplating, reminiscing about somebody who is not meant to be your partner. And to add to that, you also need to be 500% sure that that person is not your partner. You cannot be sitting here low-key keeping the door open for somebody, hoping that they maybe could come back and maybe they'll change and maybe they'll come back to me and they're actually my soulmate. You need to be energetically cut with somebody. So I had a previous video in which I actually talked about how if you're not blocking a person and you are not deleting their number or you're not hiding your stuff from them on social media, a lot of people subconsciously are keeping the door open a little bit for their ex or for a guy that's not good for them to come back. And what you're doing by then is you're maintaining an energetic connection. Even though you're not reaching out to them, you are low-key hoping a little bit that one day they could come back, and that's keeping an energetic tie to them. If you are low-key subconsciously even 1% hoping that this person could come back, you are stuck at the lower frequency that they are at, which clearly you guys were not meant to be together. You can't really rise high and meet somebody who's up here at this kind of frequency and this kind of energy, who's actually meant to be your partner and provide things for you that you deserve in a relationship. And so make sure that you are energetically cut off from any ex-partners, not just physically. Now, the next reason that you could have not attracted your dream partner yet is that you are subconsciously attracted to what is familiar, not what is healthy. If you know anything about attachment theory, I have a lot of other videos about that, but based on our attachment with our parents in our childhood, there are patterns that we had with our parents growing up that we sometimes repeat in romantic relationships. The relationship you have with your parents, the dynamic, how you felt, certain things that you learn from that when you grow up repeats in romantic relationships. That is where the familiarity aspect comes from. Certain dynamics in relationships, certain ways of dealing with conflict, maybe like running away from conflict, growing up with fighting, you know, growing up thinking that this is how men talk to women, or growing up thinking that you need to earn love, whatever you've learned, things from your childhood could then be replaying in your romantic relationships or your ex situationships and stuff that you've experienced. You're attracted to that. Maybe in your childhood, you know, you had you saw a father who was emotionally unavailable and wasn't really emotionally there for your mom. You could actually be subconsciously, because you witnessed that and you're used to seeing that, attracted to that when you look for a partner. Therefore, you might end up in situations and be like, why am I always attracting guys who run away when I try to talk about my feelings? Consciously, you're attracting what is familiar to you in now your relationships. Now, I want to emphasize that a lot of times you might be like, no, I don't want what I had in childhood. I don't want to replay those dynamics. I don't want to do what my parents had. I know better now, but a lot of this is subconscious. It's beneath what we logically know and we have learned, and we don't even realize that we actually are attracting the same dynamic that maybe your mother had with your father, maybe you had with your father, maybe you had with your mother. Now, this doesn't have to just be a familiar pattern from your childhood. You know, it could be like a pattern that you've learned from your previous relationship. And maybe your first relationship, there was a certain dynamic or there was a certain type of man that you just got used to, and that's just like your first experience in life in a relationship, and then you keep attracting the same type of person. I had a pattern of attracting men who were always way too worried about their work and like always put their career above a woman, and I was never like made to be like the priority, and I would always attract the same type of man, and I literally had to ask myself, like, why do I keep attracting the same type of man? I think that that's a pattern that I felt as a baby with my parents. They didn't really necessarily always prioritize me or have time for my needs. It actually took me so much reflecting because I didn't consciously realize that I thought that about my parents, or like I felt that as a kid. The more I actually sat and understood the kind of patterns I had, the more I was able to uncover that and then understand how that is familiar to me in my childhood, therefore that's the type of man I'm attracting. That could be why you keep attracting a certain pattern. You could be attracting these patterns in terms of like people being emotionally unavailable, like I said, people not prioritizing you, people who cheat, people who can't be loyal. Even the way that someone makes you feel could be a pattern. Like if you in your childhood or with your first relationship always felt like you're too much, you could always be attracting subconsciously people that make you feel too much. None of this is healthy, and so you kind of have to realize what you are attracting in order to then attract a healthy person. Now, the next reason you could have not attracted your dream partner is because you are not yet the version of yourself that would receive that kind of love yet. Sometimes, no matter how ready you think you are, based on the things I've just told you that you might not even realize, you might not even be the version of you that's ready to receive the abundance of love that you are about to get. Like, God and the universe, I believe, has somebody out there who is ready to love you to your core, who is ready to love every single aspect of you, who is ready to be an amazing partner and fulfill all of your needs, and you're meant to have a really happy life with them. But maybe if you're not fully healed from things yet, maybe if you have sabotaging patterns, or you run away from certain things, or you're not the version of you that's actually just ready to sit there and be like, I love this love and I'm not scared of it. Sometimes, once again, consciously we think we're ready for things, but there could be some still healing that needs to be done, or things we haven't worked through, patterns we haven't worked through, fears, trauma we haven't worked through. We're not the best version of ourselves yet. You know, there are times when I really wanted a partner, but when I look back on, like, I was like dying to have a boyfriend. Girl, like, you were a hot mess. Like, if you had a boyfriend at the time, you would have probably never graduated school. Like, having a boyfriend at this time would have distracted you from this, or you weren't mentally able to show up and be a good partner for somebody else. What about that? Because you already had too much of your own emotional stuff going on. Like, think of the other person too. Like, are you even ready to be emotionally there and available for somebody else and provide something to them? It's not always just about us. The reason you could not attracted your dream person yet is because you want intimacy, but you fear being seen. Now, this is a really specific group of people who I feel like they want to be loved and they want a relationship, but like for some reason they fear being seen by a person. They fear somebody fully getting to their core. They fear somebody knowing them and their deepest, darkest secrets. They fear somebody just like knowing them as a whole human being. They want to like hide parts of themselves. They want to protect parts of themselves. That, my love, is you protecting your inner child from something. You're just scared to be 100% yourself around somebody. You need to learn to love yourself and accept yourself 100%, not hide parts of you, if you want to actually attract real love, because real love will love you for 100% what you are. So once again, that's just emphasizing that you have some healing to do. This takes me to part number 2, which is signs that you are not emotionally actually ready for the relationship that you've been dying for yet. I want us to just take a deep breath together and let's be like completely real. It's just us here chilling in bed. If you are low-key, secretly, even just a hint, a little bit, hoping that your exes or ex situationships will change, will mature, will glow up and come back. You're not emotionally ready. That goes back to my first point, which is about not being over a situationship or an ex. You are not meant to be with that person. You know it. God would have already put you guys together. Love is not meant to be that hard. Having the hope that they're going to mature and they're going to come back is waiting energy. I have a lot of other videos about being in waiting energy. You not being able to rise above somebody who's at a lower frequency than what you deserve. You are meant to have the world and more, but you're sitting here hoping that someone will rise to that. Meanwhile, God is trying to open up different doors for you. You're energetically stuck down here with somebody who's low level. You gotta stop hoping. People do not change, and they always say, like, there's so many quotes that say, like, fall in love with a person, not their potential. You're not supposed to fall in love with somebody if they improve on this, if they get better, if only they stop doing this, if only they get their life together, then maybe it'll work out. You have to fall in love with a person exactly how they are in this moment. Stop falling in love with maybe your ex will come back and glow up and stop cheating on you. Like, no, you are not meant to have that, and you also have no guarantee that people change. So stop hoping that. You also could be afraid that love will take away your freedom. I know that I think that I've kind of developed this fear. For somebody who's been single for a little bit, or a lot of it, there's a lot of freedom, especially like I live alone and stuff, that I just like have. Like, there's things that I'm used to. I could get up and go on a flight tomorrow, go on a girls trip. There's a lot of stuff. Time freedom. I could do whatever I want. I don't really have to answer anybody. Logically, I'm like, no. Like, you know, I'd be okay with those changes. I'm ready for a partner. But it could be that, like, subconsciously or deep down, like, you don't want to give up your freedom. You're so comfortable with your freedom. You're so comfortable with you being the #1 priority in your own life that maybe you are a little bit scared that if someone comes out, like, they might take away my freedom. This is also something that people who are avoidantly attached a lot of times will feel. They don't want somebody to take away their autonomy, their freedom, their time that they get to themselves, their time with their friends. They don't want to be controlled. And that could be why maybe you're not energetically attracting somebody, because that is a wall around you that you've put. Also could be getting bored when love feels kind and safe. This is one that I'm telling you, I actually went through. Like, somebody actually being just like super nice to you and super loving to you and being really respectful and like actually mature, and you're like, this is kind of boring, like, where's the chase? I just assume that, like, for me to be in love with somebody, like, it needs to be like super high adrenaline rushes, and like it needs to be like a chase, and like it needs to be like a game, and like who's calling who first, and like they want me and like I'm not messaging them. It's actually crazy, because that just shows that you have like attachment wounds, or like you have the wrong idea of what love should look like. Love is supposed to be kind, it's supposed to be calm, it's supposed to be easy. If you don't think that, you got some work to do. Over the years, what I had to learn from meeting person after person where the love was like not calm, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be like, no, actually, like, the calm kind of love is like what I want. You might confuse going on dates with guys who are like boring, or it doesn't feel like the chase, or like they're not like intriguing you. That could just be like you're not feeling anxiously attached to them, and you don't want to feel anxiously attached. Maybe God is trying to send you somebody who actually is calm and is loving and is healthy, because that's actually what's good for you. Another sign that you're not emotionally ready is that you don't feel worthy unless you're performing. There's a lot of brown girl guilt that like comes with this, or causes this. I've been there. There's a lot of immigrant children. There's just people in general who feel like they grew up feeling like they needed to perform in order to get love, like they needed to do for others. Maybe you feel like subconsciously like you need to be like super ahead in your career in order for somebody to love you. There's no correlation between that. Somebody should love you for who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what your career is. Maybe you think, oh, I need to lose 50 pounds and then, like, you know, somebody will choose me. Like, why do you feel like you need to do things for people to choose you? I think you need to ask yourself that. Like, you should be loved for who you are, no matter where you are in your life. Like, you literally deserve that. And so if you have this conscious belief that maybe when I do this, somebody will choose me, or I need to do this to get love, like, no, that means you don't fully accept yourself and you don't love yourself. You don't even want to attract somebody who only loves you based on what you do for them, or if you lost the weight, or if you're performing well in your career, or if you're this, if. You need to be loved for who you are, and that starts with you loving you for who you are, without performing, without having a title, without anything. Okay. And then this takes me to part number 3, which is the part that everybody's here for. I know you guys are all here, and this is how you are going to attract your dream relationship. I'm spilling all the secrets. First thing that I'm going to talk about is for people who believe in manifestation. And if you don't believe in manifestation, just hear me out. You need to start showing up as the version of you that is already loved and already in a relationship. A lot of people have probably already said this to you, right? Like, yeah, just manifest the love. Like, visualize your dream relationship. Write the list of your dream partner. I have it on my vision board over there. Do those things. But I think that there's a missing piece that nobody talks about when it actually comes to attracting your dream partner. And this is like, when you're manifesting, a dream person, you don't just visualize, oh my god, I'm gonna be so excited like the day I'm getting proposed to. Like, oh my god, like when he finally asks me out and brings me the flowers, like that day is gonna be like the most exciting day of my life, like my wedding day, like those monumental moments, or like those big indications of like being loved or being in a romantic relationship. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's like something that we're all gonna idolize. You actually need to energetically feel like that is so normal to you. Normal for you if you guys have been together for 10 years to like wake up beside him, coffee in an espresso machine with coffee in it. It's gonna be so normal for like you to be driving home from work and you're calling him about your day. It's gonna be so normal that you're like meeting him at your kid's soccer game in 10 years. It's gonna be so normal that you guys are going on your annual vacation couples trip with your friends, other couple friends, once a year to Mexico. I'm gonna tell you why you should do this. When you were imagining the big things like the proposal and like getting married and like him finally asking you out and like those big things, you're almost putting it on a pedestal. And what happens when you put things on a pedestal manifestation wise is you're actually energetically going farther away from them, because you're signaling to the universe that I don't have that. That thing is on a pedestal and I cannot wait for that, and I don't have it and I want it so bad. It's actually pushing the manifestation away. You're repelling it. When you start to visualize things that are so day-to-day normal, they don't feel like as on a pedestal. It's just like, okay, yeah, of course I wake up every morning and he's like sleeping beside me and I just like give him a kiss and get up. Yeah, of course, like we're brushing our teeth and we like hug each other and say goodbye. Yeah, of course I go downstairs and like my coffee's made for me and like I call him on my way home from work. Things that are very mundane, very day-to-day, normal. And when you sit there and you visualize it and you actually feel what this feels like. For me to sit here right now and I'm driving home from work and I'm like 5 years from now and I'm just like calling my husband on the way home, telling him about what happened with my day, and he's like, yeah, okay babe, like, you know, I'm gonna grab this at the grocery store and then like I'll meet you home for dinner. That feels so normal to me. I'm not putting that on a pedestal because it's not like that exciting. The way that you're just feeling normal about having this person is what's actually going to attract them, because it's so normal for me to be loved. It's so normal for my husband to be like in love with me. It's so normal for us to talk every single day. It's so normal for me and my boyfriend to go on date nights once we can go to restaurants. Visualize the things that feel normal to you, because then you're signaling to the universe that, yeah, me being loved and me having my dream partner and me having a happy marriage, like it's just normal. The other thing I want to tell you is to start practicing emotional neutrality. Be emotionally normal when you meet somebody. When you go on these dates, when you are meeting guys, somebody introduces you, when you start texting somebody, when you start DMing somebody, don't look at every single thing as like, is he the one? Oh my god, is this like my boyfriend? Like, am I gonna marry him? Like, after like freaking couple dates. Like, just be emotionally neutral. This could be my friend, this could be my GBF, my gay best friend. You have to just speak like this. Until you're sure about a person, until they're treating like an absolute princess, until they ask you to be your partner, you're emotionally neutral. You're not putting too much pressure on it. Saying, is he the one, is he the one, is he the one, is just gonna repel it. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to reprogram your nervous system to want safe love, not chaotic love. This is something that a lot of us are used to. We grew up seeing, maybe we're just in our past, we're low-key subconsciously attracted to chaotic love. Love that's like feels like super high dopamine rushes and super exciting and like the chase. Not love that's like calm, safe, and like what we would call boring. Your nervous system is so used to being up and down, maybe from your childhood, maybe from your past. It's so used to like getting really hyped and then getting really sad and like having crashes and up and down, that we actually think that that's like what our love is supposed to feel like. It's supposed to be like a dopamine hit, and then it's supposed to be like a couple days later like crashing and sad and fighting. Like, it's just your nervous system is used to chaos. You need to tell your nervous system you need to be calm. Like, start doing nervous system things like regulating it, deep breathing, taking hot showers at night, taking care of yourself, noticing when you get your heart start racing. A lot of things that you can search up about regulating your nervous system, just like as a human being in general, just for operating in life. When you are just feeling calm with somebody, that this is actually normal. And like when you are feeling extremely chaotic excited and then super low with this person because like now they know you're fighting, or now they no longer want you, or you're breaking up and getting back together, tell your nervous system like this feeling is not a good feeling that you're having. This is not excitement and adrenaline and love. This is chaos, and this is like a fight or flight mode. Like, my body is literally shutting down. Reprogram your nervous system to not like that kind of love anymore. I actually want the calm, neutral love where I can go to bed like chilling every day. It's not actually boring. The thing I want to do is like just rewrite your story. Like, there's a lot of creators and there's lots of books on this, and if you're a journaler, if you're a manifestor, you're probably already doing this. You might have like these beliefs like, I'm a woman who like guys don't pick me, or like I only attract unavailable men, or like I have the worst type in men. No, that's not your story, girl. That's not your story, and you telling yourself that and making jokes about that is not helping you. Rewrite your story to, I'm a woman who attracts love. I'm a woman who's treated like a queen. I'm a woman who gets everything she wants. I'm a woman where love just flows to me with ease. I'm a woman who's easy to love. Rewrite your story. Journal this every single day. Tell yourself this every single day. Walk around life, the world, have a freaking skip down the streets. Like, I'm a woman who attracts love. Like, men love me. Men are attracted to me. I'm a catch. Not these old narratives that you have issues, that you attract bad men and you have bad luck with love, and no. Those are all coming from trauma. Now, lastly, the thing I want to ask you to do is I want you to journal. I want you to think to yourself, or pull out your journal and literally write it down. My journal's over there. Ask yourself this question: what did I learn love was growing up? And I want you to sit there for half an hour in silence and actually just think about it, because this is going to explain a lot of the emotional stuff that I talked about, a lot of the patterns that you have, a lot of the things, maybe why your nervous system acts a certain way, maybe why you attract the same patterns over and over. Maybe you learned that love was chaotic. Maybe you learned that love was hard from what you saw. Like, what did you learn about love when you were growing up? And that's gonna probably explain a lot of the patterns and a lot of thinking that you have. Ask yourself, like, how did I have to act to be chosen? Did I have to perform? Did I have to be a good girl, be a good kid? Did I have to shout and scream for attention in order to be chosen? Did I have to just be obedient? How did you have to act in order to be chosen? And then, like, think about that as a kid, and then think about how that could be relating to you right now. Like, how are you acting in order to be chosen by a man right now? Are you trying to be perfect? Do you feel like you need to throw temper tantrums or play games in order for them to care about your feelings? Like, what? The last journal prompt I want you to journal on is, what would it look like to let love be easy? What would it look like to let love be easy? That is a crazy question that even, you know, to this day, I think I still like contemplate like what I think that love being easy looks like. It could be actions, it could be like the way you feel, and based on whatever you comes to your mind right away and whatever you journal on, I want you to then put that into your manifestation practice, into the visualization practice that I was talking about earlier. Also, if you guys didn't know, I am doing one-on-one coaching. The website is not officially up, but I have already kind of started taking clients. My email is in the description if you guys want to reach out to me. I do a lot of confidence, self-development, dating, attachment coaching. I'm also going to do a video that's part 2, how I become the version of me that actually attracts love with ease. Kind of focusing a little bit more on like the emotional stuff within and the manifestation part of this. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I post every Monday and Thursday. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, where I post shorter form lifestyle and self-development content. I'm just here for the girlies. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.